All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the product update webinar of TOPdesk for this quarter. My name is Tom Knippenberg. I'm one of the product managers, and today I'm hosting together with Esther de Winter. You'll hear her later today. And on the chat, we have available Tim Weerdenburg, also one of our product management colleagues. So if you happen to have any questions during this webinar, you can ask them by chatting to Tim. Depending on the complexity of your question, you might get an answer right away, or we'll get back to you afterwards. Today, I'm briefly going to mention the TOPdesk vision, but the focus of today is the demo of new and upcoming features. So what has been built up past months and what are we still building, working on. At the end, we'll also show you an overview where to find more information. And if you see any interesting links during this webinar, don't worry, you'll get an email with an overview later this week. There's also a blog available with all the same content you're going to see today, so you can check it out whenever you want. So to start, first, TOPdesk vision. We want to guide organizations to achieve service excellence by getting people engaged, empowering them to work better together. Well, we put the emphasis on the service excellence part and working better together. So those are both elements you'll find back later in the presentation. And how we typically do these kinds of talks, we have the vision. Below that, we have a set of themes or key ingredients, which we use to talk about. And below that is the project level. And that's going to be the emphasis for today. So which projects do we actually do and how does it help you? So the key ingredients we're going to talk about today, first of all, standard and simple. We believe in concept reduction, having a simple tool, being able to simply work with whatever you have. We strongly believe in collaboration, whether that's between suppliers, between customers, or any parties whatsoever. And interesting to notice is that we have a best of breed approach. Well, this is to the contrary of a best of suite approach. We heavily rely on partners to offer a wide range of features with TOPdesk, so you can use it for pretty much everything. I'm going to start out with the standard and simple topic. Within that, we're working on two major parts. One of that is concept reduction. So where in the past we've had several process cards like incidents, changes, or operational activities. With the concept reduction, we try to make that work in a consistent way. So instead of having these 3 different process cards, we're working towards one task card. Well, we're also making a technological leap here. So TOPdesk used to be a monolithic code base, meaning everything is part of the same application. And now we're aiming for a service-oriented architecture, meaning that you have lots of different microservices that work together through APIs. Well, these two parts, the concept reduction and the technological leap, that's what forms our standard and simple approach. Well, if the things I just mentioned, the incidents, changes, and operational series, that's what you could call the tasks, but how they belong together, that's what we call workflows. So the first project we want to show you is dependencies within workflows. So we're going to allow you to specify in a workflow that the task can start after a preceding task is done. And that's all meant to work to a simpler alternative to change management so that you don't have to start out with a very complex module right away. So how does this look like? This is a sneak peek of the workflow designer. So from top to bottom, you see the different tasks that I define. For starters, I want to create an Active Directory account, for example. And when that's done, I can do the next activities. In this case, set up an email account, a PC account, and an access card. Of course, that can be done by multiple departments like IT or HR. And as you can see, these tasks can be done in parallel. Well, this feature, we're aiming for it to be available on SaaS by the end of this quarter, so the 3rd quarter. And if you want to find more information about this, we have a landing page about that. As I mentioned before, you're going to get an email afterwards with all these links, so you can look it up whenever you like. Also about workflows is adding workflows on first-line incidents. So the past months, we've added some features like the checklist functionality in labs, which is only available on second-line incidents. And we've received a lot of feedback that customers also want to have that on first line. So that's what's going to happen soon. So why are we doing that? Well, to offer those new cool features of workflows with the full force of TOPdesk Incident Management. And hopefully we'll have this available in the next quarter. Well, this is also going to be on SaaS first and then Labs actually, which means that it's only available for TOPdesk Enterprise for now. It's not yet certain when this is going to hit on premises or TOPdesk Professional customers, so stay tuned for that information. Well, this is the part about workflows, what's happening right now, but about the task part itself, what's crucial there is that you want to work with tasks everywhere. So as shown last quarter as well, we're working on a progressive web app for starters for the incident management module, and it will well, allow you to upload pictures, change statuses, and we're also aiming to have offline capabilities, meaning that you can work wherever, whenever on mobile. So that's pretty cool. This is a quite recent sketch with a Dutch login screen I see. When I log in, I get an overview of all the tasks that are on my group or on my name, whatever I set up my filter like. Opening one of these tasks, I can check out the progress trail, open up any attachments that I have, so maybe a photograph of the thing that's broken. And of course, I'm also able to reply like, hey, I fixed this, or I need more information, whatever. On the top, of course, I can also change the status so that it seamlessly integrates with your process on the backend as well. And this is updated in the list. Now, what you see now is when you do not have an internet connection, we show everything that we have cached. So that's the list of incidents, but also if you already opened that incident, you can still open it up. Well, we hope to have the first version available this quarter still, I think August or September. What's important to know, that's not going to feature the offline capabilities right away. That's going to be a follow-up part later. So right now we're really looking for feedback. So if you want to know more or provide us with feedback, you can do that on the page mentioned on screen. Well, from tasks and workflows, I'm gonna move over to the asset management module. So the things that you can manage in TOPdesk. And what's still missing there is the capability to send emails. So for example, when something's up with your asset, a license is expiring, or maybe well, something indicated through the API that it's broken, then you probably want to signal some users, whether that's other operators or end users. So what we've been building is a way to set up these actions. So from the asset designer on the left side, you have a page go to actions, and there you can set up new actions. Firstly, you indicate on which templates these actions are active. So in this case, on the printer and the server. And then I can actually configure the action. So I could set up an email or do an integration here. And well, in this example, I chose to import an existing action. So although it went pretty quickly, what's cool to know about this, with the export and import functionality, you can actually exchange these events and actions between your test and production environment, or even perhaps between different customers. So once set up, if I open up one of these assets, so on the asset overview, I'll look up one of the servers, then you'll notice that a new button should have appeared on the top. So we're still loading. Yeah, on the top there's a trigger action menu, and there I can send this update to an external system or trigger whatever actions I set up. Currently this doesn't show up in the history widget yet. That's still being worked on, but it's pretty cool that you can manually trigger this right away. What I just showed you was importing such an action. You might have seen that imports a plain text email, but there's actually a lot more possible. So on the bottom of the screen, I can convert it to a more advanced action, and then I get the full power of the TOPdesk action sequences. So on the left side, I can add variables that I can use in my steps. I can make different steps. For example, first I'd like to trigger an integration with a different system. Then depending on the response from that system, I want to send an email to my end user or maybe to my operator. Well, it gives you the full flexibility to set up an entire scheme. And although not shown on this screenshot, it's actually rich text emails by now. So you have a nice editor where you can make nicely formatted emails as well. Well, this is already available on SaaS. A blog is coming soon, so stay tuned for that. and hopefully we'll have this available for on-premises customers by September. For on-premises, this does mean that customers will have to upgrade to the virtual appliance. So keep that in mind if you're keen to use this feature. Well, what's also important to mention here is that these actions, although currently manually, we're now working on automating them. So for example, when a license expires, you want to have an email just before, that's gonna be the next step. Also for asset management are there new branch filters. So what do branch filters do? Well, they allow you to limit asset visibility for operators of another branch than where the asset is assigned to. So let's say I give my entire IT department permissions to view computers. With the branch filters, I can say they can only see computers of the branch they're working at. So this allows for a bit more fine-grained permission system than we had before, which is typically something larger or perhaps more mature customers really want to use. This is already available on SaaS, and again, for on-premises customers, we're aiming for September. You do not need a virtual appliance for this part specifically, but it's still well, an upgrade I'd recommend. And again, for this topic, there is a blog available with some more information, so you can check that out on our update blog. So from asset management, I'm gonna make a quick jump to e-learning because we've recently released an e-learning platform, which can be used for onboarding of new operators. So what will you find on this platform? Well, it's a set of interactive e-learning trainings. So new operators can learn to use incident management and well, just the TOPdesk basics. Because who doesn't recognize a situation where you want to train a new employee? But to do that, you need quite some knowledge. And your seniors are probably also busy with stuff, or well, maybe you need to send them on a TOPdesk training somewhere in the TOPdesk office near you. Well, with this, we hope to improve self-reliance for those people to start working with TOPdesk. So how does this look like? In here, you'll find the catalog. And in the catalog, we have several items explaining how TOPdesk thinks the world works and how we think about service management. And on the top left, you see the basic training, which is the actual interactive training. Well, this is a short overview of what's a part of the training. For example, creating a call. Now you'll get a case in a fun way that learns you to work with TOPdesk. So as you can see here, I'm able to create an incident in a user interface that very much resembles TOPdesk. And that way I can find out how to start working. You have some tips available. And what's pretty cool is that there's also a quizzing functionality. So let's say you've completed the incident management module. You can actually check out if you grasp the concepts and what you still need to learn. So this e-learning platform is already available. It's currently available in Dutch and English. And again, there's some more information available on our blog. What's important to note, this is a paid feature. So if you want to start using e-learning or trying it out, please contact your account manager and he can provide you with some more pricing information. Yeah, so that's the e-learning part. Well, then the last part for me before I transfer to Esther, which is actually dropping a feature from TOPdesk, namely dropping support for Internet Explorer 11. So for the ones that do not know, Internet Explorer 11 is a browser from Microsoft from, well, quite some time ago. And Microsoft already stopped officially supporting this browser. That means that, well, there will not be security fixes. New modern ways of working are not supported in this browser. And that's the reason why most major players on the market are currently dropping support for Internet Explorer 11. And that's what we're also planning to do. So the major advantages here, aside from a secure browser, of course, are also that we can offer a better TOPdesk experience with some more modern features. So making sure that we are compatible with Internet Explorer 11 brings a lot of extra development costs. And with this, we can hopefully use those developers in a more sensible way. So although we haven't set an end of life date yet, you don't have to worry right away. We're definitely not gonna cut this out within half a year. So you have some time, but it does make sense to start making preparations on getting your organization ready to stop using Internet Explorer 11. Yeah, that's my part. I'm gonna transfer to Esther, so hang on for a few seconds.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm Esther and I'm here to take over from Tom to show you some other features. But first thing I want to talk to you about is artificial intelligence. I don't think there are many presentations nowadays where AI is not mentioned. Well, we of course are also looking into artificial intelligence, not because it's a buzzword or because it's trending, but because we truly believe this can enhance your customer experience, your employee experience, the way of working. You can do a lot with smart suggestions or even detecting problems that you can then proactively act upon. And that is why we are also working on artificial intelligence. I'm going to show you a couple of features that we're currently investigating. These features don't have an end date yet because, of course, we're experimenting with it, we're investigating it. We need to see if it actually works before we can deliver it to you. But I still think it's worth sharing the directions that we're currently thinking in. And first one is one that we are actually truly planning on delivering probably this year, and that's to automatically translate knowledge items. And there are a lot of artificial intelligence solutions available already to translate text. So what we're currently working on is implementing or integrating one of these possibilities, one of these solutions to enable you to automatically translate knowledge items so that you don't have to do this all manually or have to arrange translators to do this. You can just press a button and items are translated. At least that's what we're aiming to do. The next project that we're investigating is incident affiliation. Currently, you figure out that there's a bigger problem or that there's a major incident by operators maybe talking to each other and them telling each other, oh, I also had that problem, or oh, I see that you have this problem. Someone else had this as well. Well, we have all this data and we can detect using artificial intelligence whether there are similarities between calls. So we can detect whether maybe there's something bigger going on. Maybe it's not just one customer who has a problem. Maybe there are multiple ones and maybe it's all related to the same issue. Well, that's what we're looking into with incident affiliation. And that also ties in with risk assessment. There are also calls that are maybe taking too long, maybe need some extra attention, might need someone else to look at them. So what we're looking at is, can we detect if there are certain calls that are more risky than others, so that you might not meet the agreements that you've made, so that we can proactively notify managers or operators, whoever needs to be notified that something special is going on, that you might need to take some action. Lastly, we're looking into expectation management in the self-service portal, where you currently, as an end user, can create a call in the self-service portal, fill in a form, and then just wait until you get a response. In some cases, based on information that you filled in, based on the amount of people that are working that day, you can already predict when this customer will get an answer, maybe even by who he can expect an answer. So we're looking into what type of predictions we can make and show them to end users so that they know what's coming, know what they can expect. Well, all of these projects, like I said, are currently being investigated and in progress. You can find them all on the product roadmap of TOPdesk. And because they are currently under investigation and experimentation, we would also really like your feedback. So if you have any ideas about any of these topics, or of course other artificial intelligence opportunities that you see, please let us know. Next to us ourselves looking into possibilities, we are also working with several partners to see what we can do in the chatbot and virtual assistant area. Not to completely replace your operators. That's probably not possible with the current state of chatbots and virtual assistants, but they can already take over a lot of the more boring work, the routine work, answering some of the standard questions that you get every day and every day take a lot of time to answer. And also they can detect when it's time to actually put a human on the line to actually forward you to a person who can further help you. So, and take care of a warm handover in that case. So we're also looking into this with multiple partners. Well, one of the solutions we're looking at is Amelia. which is currently in progress. I believe the pilot group is already filled, but if you're interested in this, please check out the roadmap for more information. The OB41 chatbot integration solution is currently found on the marketplace. So you can actually go to the marketplace and subscribe yourself and get in touch with OB41 to actually start using a chatbot. And lastly, mostly relevant for the customers based in the US, we're also looking into an integration with Service Aid, which you can also find on the product roadmap. So this was the standard and simple first part. And now I want to talk to you a bit more about collaboration, because we believe to truly provide this service excellence that Tom also referred to in the beginning, you need to be able to work together with whoever is involved in delivering this service. So end users can help each other, operators can help each other, operators can collaborate with end users, but also over the boundaries of organizations, you need to work more closely together with your suppliers and partners. Well, we all put this under the nice collaboration umbrella, and I want to show you some of the features that we have delivered in that theme. Firstly, I want to talk about citizen support. You might have seen a campaign for this already. What we're aiming to do is also make it more easy to collaborate with your citizens. So not people who have an account to log into your TOPdesk or can create calls, but people in the outside world to collaborate with them more closely. We're talking here about citizens, but solutions that we're creating in this area can also be very well applied to students or patients in hospitals or whoever does not have direct access to your TOPdesk. And a first project that we've shown in the previous webinar was open knowledge items. Well, what we're working on currently is also open public unauthenticated forms. So that means that we can enable these forms that you currently have within your portal. We can enable them to, we can open them up to the outside world. So you can put them on your website or web page or wherever you want to have end users fill them in, use them without having to log in or have to have accounts or credentials. This is I think a pretty cool feature that's coming up. We aim to deliver this in the fourth quarter of this year, and it's going to be a SaaS first solution. I cannot really say when we will deliver this to on-premise, but we're looking into that. And if you're interested in this, well, you can find more information on the product roadmap. Something else that we have delivered in the collaboration area is the collaboration platform, where this does not focus on collaboration with the end users. This focuses on collaboration with other organizations. So where you probably might have outsourced some of your services, well, some of these suppliers that you're working with might also have TOPdesk. And instead of calling or emailing or setting up really expensive, difficult integrations, we now have the collaboration platform, which is the central hub where you can easily connect to other TOPdesk using parties. And when I say TOPdesk, that is for now. We are also aiming to deliver connections to other service management applications. You can expect that somewhere in the next year. And basically we do this because we believe that if you can truly collaborate, well, this can only strengthen your service delivery, can only make it better. So that's what we're aiming to do. And to show you how this works, I'll first show you what we've been focusing on a lot, and that's the easy setup of a relationship. So once you've turned on the feature in Labs, you can go to the collaboration center, fill in some default information, like if there's a new message, well, which operator group should pick this up, and you can create a connection. Well, to do that, you create a unique code, you copy this code. So I've copied it now. And basically on your side, that's it. Of course, you need to go to the other side to see what happens then. So when we go to the supplier TOPdesk in this case, you see the supplier has already filled in all the information. They can say, use this connection code, submit the code, click connect, and they are connected. That's it. That's all you have to do to set up a relationship between two parties, both using TOPdesk. And of course, you can create as many connections as you like. Well, what does this mean, having a connection? I will show you, of course. It means that you can now collaborate on calls. So you see a call here about a parking deck gate that doesn't close anymore. Well, this is a big problem, of course, but not a problem that this company can fix themselves, they would need a supplier for this. So what they do, they type a message to their supplier like, hey, can you come and help us, please? And to send it to them, they can click the checkbox, send to a third party. Select the third party that they're connected with and basically save the call. By doing this, the information is forwarded to the supplier, to the top desk of the supplier. And also, of course, on your side, you can keep track of the status. So you can see whether it's sent or whether it's actually being delivered, where we've added the nice WhatsApp-like checks to see that something actually arrived at your supplier. Well, what does this mean? If we take a look at the supplier side, you see the supplier has a lot of calls coming in, some via email, but also some via collaboration platform. You can see it's received from, well, the customer top desk in this regard. So I fill that in this case. So I fill that in on the left side. And at this point, it's just up to the supplier to nicely respond and start fixing the problem. So in this case, they will drop by tomorrow. Of course, also here the indicators that messages have been arrived. But what this does is it now has two calls in two top desks that are linked to each other. So these two parties can from now on update each other and see what the status is on the other side, what's happening, and be more involved with the whole service delivery chain. This is currently in TOPdesk Labs. We are aiming to go out of labs in the coming quarter. I do have to make a side note because it's currently only available for customers that are in the NL3 data center. So this is most of the Dutch customers, German customers, most of the European customers, but for the customers from the UK or US, Brazil, unfortunately, it's not possible to use it yet. We are aiming to enable this feature for you in this year still, but it will probably be somewhere around the end of this year. And for more information, well, we have a nice website. There's also some features coming up for the collaboration platform. We are looking into how we can further improve the whole sharing flow and the interactions. And some things that we are currently adding is setting a status. So something as soon as you've received a response from your supplier or from your customer, you can change the status so that you also immediately see your to-do list that something has changed and that you need to take action. Also, one of the most requested features is I want to see the incident number on the other side. Well, that's also coming up. It might even already be there in some of the environments. So we hopefully we gave you what you were looking for in this regards. So this is somewhere in this quarter, these features will be delivered. And also for the full roadmap of all the features that are coming up, you can go to this web page. Well, collaboration also goes to the collaboration you have with your end users, because for your end users, you want to optimize the full journey that they go through. And a way of doing that is by getting insights in the journey that they're going through. So to do that, we have created an interactive toolkit that can help you get better insights in what your customers or users are experiencing. So to basically create your own customer journey map, because this would enable you to also make improvements on where you see the pain points are. Well, this customer journey map, an example you can find here. This is also in the toolkit, and this is what you're going to work towards for your own services, for your own service desk or departments that are, well, basically whoever you're trying to target. So you say what are the steps they're going through, but you also map the emotions and the pain points. Well, this is a toolkit. In this toolkit, you can find a 60-minute interactive workshop where you first get some theory, then you're actually going to do the exercise. So you're actually going to try and map this out for your own experience, and then you get some next steps. So what can you do with it within your organization to fully, make use of this? And here you have an example of one of these exercises. Well, this customer journey mapping toolkit is currently available on the website that is shown here. You can also access this via your SaaS environment. But if you're not on SaaS or cannot find it, it's on your SSP module page. You can find it on this link. Collaboration is a pretty big topic. We've delivered more, but I don't want to go into detail for all of these topics. So I want to briefly show you some of the additional features that we have delivered or are coming up. You can find more about those on the blog that Tom mentioned in the beginning of this webinar that we will send to you afterwards. But one of those is the Kanban board. We've now enabled you to have multiple teams on one board, and something that is upcoming that has been requested quite often is to have changes on the Kanban board. We expect to deliver that before the end of this year. Share and subscribe. So the possibility for end users to share calls with one another if they impact, well, multiple end users. We've now also added a functionality that also operators can share calls with additional end users. And something that's coming up is branch filters, so that end users can only share calls with end users that are in the same branch, which is specifically used for when you're an MSP customer and you have multiple organizations in your TOPdesk and you don't want end users from one organization to share with end users from another organization. We're also working on improving end user feedback possibilities. The first step in that is ensuring that users don't have to log in anymore to give their feedback, so to give this star rating, but we're looking into what else we can do to give you more insights in how you are actually performing. And we have delivered a knowledge management ebook, a guide to help you get to know a bit more how you can arrange your knowledge management also over the full service desk and over multiple departments, and how you can professionalize this. Well, lastly, I would like to talk to you about the best of breed ingredient, because as Tom mentioned, we have a strong core of TOPdesk, but by making smart use of our partners, of integrations, we can offer a huge set of functionalities to you, so anything you would want. And we've been focusing on that as well, of course. And the first thing that is required for that is focusing on our APIs. So we have been focusing on the reservations management API to make sure that you can, for instance, have recurring reservations via the API, but there are many, many more endpoints added. And we're also going to work on the visitor registration API, operations management, and knowledge management. This should open up a lot more possibilities for all our partners, but also for you to build custom integrations or whatever you would want to build upon this. But it helps, like I said, it helps our partners to create cool solutions. Well, a lot of these cool solutions that are being created end up at our marketplace. So I would definitely recommend you to check out the marketplace to see what is possible. Maybe there are tools that you are currently already using that we already have standard integrations for. Those can be found on the marketplace, and I want to highlight a couple of them that have been delivered quite recently, but there are many more, of course. Well, one of them is a sign request integration to make sure that you can easily digitally sign documents and link them to your calls. We have delivered a maintenance board so that you have a nice overview of all the maintenance tasks that you still have to do. You can see when they have to be done, who is taking care of them, so you can also spot when no one is taking care of them, and hopefully change that. We also created an integration with Okta. So if you're using Okta for your identity management, this might be an opportunity to get this more in line with the identities that you currently register in TOPdesk. And we have SolarWinds MSP and Central integration for your device management and the link with TOPdesk. Well, like I said, there's many more. These are some cool ones that might pique your interest. And to make even more of these integrations possible, something that's coming up is enabling TOPdesk on the Zapier platform. For those of you who don't know Zapier, Zapier is a standard connector, a very popular connector that basically enables you to connect applications to one another. So you see a couple of example applications that are currently already on Zapier, so like Google Drive, Gmail, Google Sheets. Well, we want to get TOPdesk on there as well, so you can do a lot of standard basic integrations via Zapier. And we hope to deliver this. We aim to deliver this in 2019, somewhere at the end of this year. And for more information, the product roadmap is your friend. Well, these were all the features that we want to demonstrate to you today. If you want to find more information, here's a nice overview of links that you can go to. So check out the roadmap. We've referenced to it a couple of times. Also, if you have other suggestions for features that you would like to see, you can go to the TOPdesk innovation platform, tip.topdesk.com. And like I said, there are a lot of cool possibilities already there on the marketplace, so also check that out. And to stay in the loop, you see the bottom 3 links that you can stay involved with us and see what's going on. And I would like to end this presentation here. Thank you very much for attending. We will send you some more information afterwards. And for now, I wish you a good rest of your day. Thank you.